Migrations are used to allow developers to change the database and limit the hassle factor that comes along with modifying a database as they develop new features of an application. What migrations do really is it allows you to just change the model of one of your applications, run a script, and then it references that model and figures out what changes need to be made against your database. Again, it just makes life really easy when you're wanting to change your database on the fly as you're doing development. The first thing that we need to do is we need to actually get South working with our project. To do that, we're just going to do a pip install South. And as you can tell, it's already installed. It's just a normal pip installation. The next thing that we need to do is we need to add South to our installed apps in our settings file. So we do just add South there. Okay, and then from there we just do a manage.py sync db. And then if you look through there, you see it does its normal syncing functions, and then at the bottom it says not synced, use migrations. Essentially what happens is South overrides how syncdb works, so it hooks in and allows you to do migrations, and it checks to what application is going to use migrations or not. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to actually create our first application and then show you how to use migrations from the get-go. Currently the blog that I'm using for this example app doesn't support pages, it only supports blog posts. So we're just going to go ahead and add the functionality so that we can do pages. So we should do a manage start app page. And then now that we started the app, we need to actually add page to our settings file. And there we go. The next thing that we need to do is we need to create our first model. This is going to be a very simple model. We're going to have a title, then we're going to have a body. And there we go. We have our model for our page application. Now that we have our page application, we need to actually start using South migrations with that application. To start from scratch and use it for an application that is fresh and brand new and you haven't used syncdb with, you basically just do manage schema migration page for the application name, in this case page, and then do initial. This means this is the first time that you're running this schema migration. And there you go. As you can see, it has created a migrations folder and then created the 0001 underscore initial.py. That's the first schema migration for you to actually use. Then we're going to do manage migrate page. And there we go, it's done its migration. The next thing that we need to do is we need to actually add something to our model. So we're going to do vim page model, open, and then we do pub date equals models dot date time field default equals date time dot now, and then we're going to do from date time, import date time. And there we go. And so now that we've actually modified our file or model, we need to actually rerun the migration information so that it can generate a new migration for us to run against the database. So we're going to do again the manage schema migration. Then we're going to do page again, and then now we're going to do auto. The auto is basically saying, hey, we've already done this once, and so just keep going along and following along against everything else. And as you can tell, it's created the 0002 auto add field page pub date, blah blah blah. I mean, just really long name, but it basically tells you what it created. And then we're just going to run the migrate again. And there we go. It ran against the database, and it's now migrated both of our migrations. And now our database is set up. At this point, you should understand how to set up migrations with a new application. But what about an existing application that you already have? Well, it's actually really simple as well. Let's go ahead and show you how to do this. So we should do manage, convert to south, and then the name of the application. In this case, post. It did a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, what it's doing is it's creating your initial migration, the 0001 migration, and then it's running the migration, but it's not actually running it. Basically, what this is doing is it's running the migration, but it's faking it. Essentially, it's adding that it's run the migration to the database, but it's not actually running the migration. So now from here on, whenever we do a migration, when we create a new migration file, it'll actually start running those from now on and keep it up to date and keep the database up to date. So let's go ahead and show how that works. Unfortunately, I didn't add a publish date to my model in the first place, and I need to go ahead and do that. There we go. And then now we should do a manage schema migration post auto. And there we go. It's created our new migration file. So then we do another manage, migrate, and post. Oop, there it goes. And now we have updated our application to start using south migrations. And from now on, whenever I run the migrations against any new database, it's just going to work. Now that we've shown you how to create a new application and add migrations to it, and convert an existing application to using south migration, what about databases that already exist that we don't want to modify, but we want to start using migrations? Well, this isn't actually that hard. What you do is you get on the command line, once you've put your new site out there and you're ready to start running your migrations, and you just do a manage py migrate, the name of the application 0001. This basically grabs the initial migration, and then you send it the fake flag. What that's going to do is it's going to do exactly what the convert to south command did. Basically adds and says to the database, hey, I did this. So now you need to start from 0002 and run all the migrations after that. So that way it doesn't, kill your database. I hope you've enjoyed this week's GoDjango screencast. Please visit the website and leave some feedback or comments or suggestions. I'm open to anything. You can also subscribe to our RSS feed and be updated automatically every week when we have a new episode up. We're also on Facebook. Please visit the website, and over on the side you'll see Facebook. Please go ahead and visit our page and like us and let everyone else know about what we're doing over here, and so maybe we can get some community involvement in what's going on. Again, I thank you for watching this week's episode of the GoDjango screencast. Please visit and watch next week. Have a good day.